Happy New Year again to all our listeners of the Moving People podcast. I'm Pierre Fitter, Senior Director of the Hub at BCW India. Now, if you've been following our special series this week, you'll know that we focused on creativity and its role in public relations. Over the past 5 days, you've already heard from Polka Yu and Jeremy Barker, who've led creative and integrated thinking for clients in APAC and North America, respectively. Today, we'll be speaking to someone who joined BCW just a few months ago as our new Chief Creative Officer. Now, if it's creative, Fede Gracia has been there, done that. His campaigns have won big at Cannes Lions, DNAD, The One Show, Clio's, Effie's, and much more. I asked him that as someone who's been on the advertising side of the game, what is it that makes their campaigns win all the big PR awards? Here's how he answered.
Mainly, I think advertising agencies have a better grasp on how to create a video case, on how to create an entry. I always say that entering the awards and putting together the materials for the awards, it's a little bit of a game, right? You need to know what plays well in front of your audience, which is the Cannes jury, and how to tell a story. And these agencies have been playing the game for a long, long time, and they're kind of experts. I come from an advertising background, and I work with a lot of ECDs and CCOs that they have even like broken down the method to pure math. How do you open? How do you tell the story? What kind of results do you show? How do you make it pop? How do you make your case stand out among many, many cases? And it's kind of sad that the entire awards industry, it has become like that, because sometimes an idea that might not be so amazing, it just stands out because it's been crafted in a way that looks like so much more than what it is. And some other ideas that really moved the needle and really made something, because you're not such a big expert into creating a video case, passes along unnoticed. I always keep saying that the awards festival became the advertising of the advertising, while we should be awarding the actual ideas, not the storytelling of those ideas that happen. So in that sense, I don't think we have that exercise as tight as advertising agencies does.
That actually builds up to a really interesting point, because you talked about the idea being the central driver of campaigns, and I'm wondering, when it comes to ideas and creativity, for PR agencies for a long time it's been about earned, and I think the reason you've come into the role you now have at BCW is to look at ideas and creative ideas as the center of a campaign. So why has that become so important in the past couple of years?
I think it's something interesting that it has to do with the question before. Like you said, the focus is earned and not the ideas. A great idea make the earn so much easier. Something that it's very unique or very disruptive, something that an idea that is so creative that just captures the attention of a wider audience, or the consumers, just makes it easier to get noticed by the media. So the idea is always sit at the center of everything. And sometimes I feel that advertising agencies, their whole focus is in the creativity, in the idea, and making something so unique that stands apart. And while the way we do it, we focus on the entire package, and we focus on the earn side of of things, sometimes we let our creativity slip a little bit. And that's why sometimes it comes to an award show, their ideas, the ideas that come from the advertising world, they feel a little more unique. And that's also truth. So that's why the goal right now is to bolster our creativity, is to bolster our team, to have more conceptual thinkers, people that come up with this kind of ideas 24/7, to make sure that the ideas are always at the center. Then having a great idea makes everything simpler.
Uh, there's something I did want to ask you when it comes to creativity, because again, one of the roles that you're probably going to play over the next couple of years is to build that creative culture across the agency. What do you think are the biggest threats to creativity? Some people say it's saying no during a brainstorm, but that's kind of tactical. What else do you think threatens creativity?
I think there's a muscle that the agency hasn't developed yet, right? When I came in, I talked to people and they say, no, well, we're very creative. We have very creative people, and we do a brainstorm, and with in a couple of hours we come up with some interesting idea. Um, and that's kind of the difference I like to make all the time. There's a difference between being creative and being a creative. A creative is a guy, is a person that's in front of the blank page and just write ideas nonstop. I always say ideas is a numbers game. You need to come up with hundreds of ideas to find the one that is good, the one that will move people. Um, and in that sense, we're not staffed the right way. Yes, we have very, very smart people. We have people who can make amazing strategy and find unique arguments and unique reasons of why this brand should be bought or consumed. But then the creativity that a creative does is that exercise of coming with an insane amount of ideas. Because when it comes to the creative process, not every idea is good. You just come with one after the other. And truth is that most of your ideas are going to be bad. But it's through that
Yeah.
numbers process that you find that one unique idea. And truth be told, we don't have many of those kind of creatives in our team.
It's very interesting you say that, because I have the same conversation with our creative director here, and we go through this exercise of trying to manage scope his time on client work, on creative ideation, and he says, listen, this feels like a really impossible exercise, because I may take 5 days to put the right idea together. I might take one day to put the right idea together. Inspiration might hit immediately, but I need to actually go through that process to get to the idea. So yeah, it's kind of linked to what you're saying, which is you need to put together 100 ideas on a page and then scratch out 99 that won't work or aren't that great or not good enough before you reach that one.
Yeah, I always keep saying, just to explain it in very simple terms, I always say finding an idea is like being in a room with 1,000 doors. And behind one door is a great idea. Even if you open the first door and you find the
Yeah,
great idea, you will never know if it's the best idea until you open the other 999. So
exactly.
when it comes to scoping, you scope for 1,000 doors.
That actually leads me to my next question, which is, in the past year, have you noticed any campaigns that struck out for you, that stood out for you as truly inspiring, or as we like to say, moved people?
From the agency?
It could be BCW, it could be outside. Yeah.
Well, from BCW, there's one that I discovered not so long ago. It was the white card that we did for Castro.
Hmm.
I thought it was a really interesting idea, a way of capturing the attention in a very simple way. In NASCAR, uh, the cars are very colorful and they're packed with advertising, and in a way to show the efforts to to lower the carbon footprint of the team, they decided to go to one race with a full white car that would stand out completely among the competitors. I thought that was a great idea.
Because that actually breaks the rules, doesn't it? I mean, everyone expects those
Exactly.
cars to be full of ads. Yeah. And
Yeah,
and as
that's
you
the key
said,
thing.
yeah, that's the
Sorry.
idea. People notice it, and then the earn takes care of itself. People will talk about it and write about it.
Yeah, exactly. Even has that visual component. I don't know how many
Yeah.
cars are running around the circle in a NASCAR race, but they're all colorful.
Hmm.
They're all filled with advertising, and suddenly one car is white. That's the kind of thing that captures the attention of the media immediately and captures the attention of consumers. So that's when I say when the idea is great, when the idea is unique, when the idea is completely different to what's expected, it just captures the attention in its own. Then the earned part, it feels just easier.
Natural. Yeah. With the investments that BCW is making in creativity and technology and data and digital, what's the piece that Fede Garcia is driving in 2022 to make BCW the best creative comms consultancy?
Well, keeping with the analogy of the cars, I feel that we're trying to build a new car, right? These days, I feel we're running a new race, as we keep saying. We used to compete with the Edelmans on the world, but now we compete with everyone. We compete with advertising agencies, with digital agencies, with consultancies. We compete against everyone and anyone. So for that, we need a different car, a car that runs on creative, and that's what we're trying to do, what we're trying to build for next year.
And I know we have a lot of people looking forward to that, not just our clients, but everyone across the agency as well. So Fede, thanks so much. That's the main set of our questions that we're going to do. We also always do a rapid fire, and that's just quick word association kind of stuff that we ask everyone. So I'll get straight to that, right? If you could stop one kind of idea from being pitched over and over again because it's already been done to death, which one would it be?
Something, the words in English fail me now. Something that involves some kind of treasure hunt. It's been pitched to me throughout my entire career. Do some kind of treasure hunt, and expecting people to go from A to B to C to D. Like, people don't care. People will not do it.
Yeah, too much effort. Not
too much effort.
Yeah.
Everything. That's one of the. Sometimes we think that people are as interested as we are, and that's a big mistake.
Exactly. Okay, fill in the blanks on this one. Our industry will never be more creative until clients dash and agencies dash.
Oof, this is a good one. I would say until clients understand that taking risks is better than playing it safe.
That's interesting.
And until agencies start daring to push their clients more.
I like it because it puts responsibility on both agency and client to get out there and not play safe.
Yeah, I feel that there's a lot. Obviously, we live in the era of social media, and whatever you do gets scrutinized in social media. So, and in these days of cancel culture, anything can get a backlash. So I understand that clients might be very, very wary of doing anything that stands out, but that's what marketing is supposed to be, is to make your products and your services stand out in the market. But standing out these days implies a massive risk, but playing it safe takes your brand nowhere. So I'd rather run a risk where I might win or lose than doing something safe and being invisible. So that would be my point to the client side. And to the agency side is, obviously, we want to keep our clients and we want to keep them happy, and we want to keep their revenue, of course. But sometimes, just because we want to keep our clients happy, we are not challenging them enough. We're not pushing them to do the things that they really need to do, just because we might scare them, or they might get a little bit angry because we push too much.
I like what you said, which is I'd rather take the risk and be noticed or lose rather than not move my brand at all. I think that's something for people to keep in mind. Now let's put you many years away from now, and you're at the end of your career. What's the headline going to read as you retire?
I don't know about the headline, but I would. This is what I love. What I would love that people said when I retired, and is I learned from that guy.
That's a cool one. The teacher.
Or that guy helped my career.
I like that. That's a nice one to have. That also goes to leader mindset.
I really don't care for the big headlines. Oh, the guy that made that ad or the other ad or made the advertising Hall of Fame, and I really don't care about that. But a lot of people helped me throughout my career, and I learned from amazing people throughout my career, and that's what took me to where I am today. And I hope I can pay it forward to all of the ones that are coming with me.
I think we're on the journey with you. Don't worry, we're all with you on this journey. But Fede, thank you so much for doing the podcast. I genuinely enjoyed listening to you talk about what's coming up next and why we need to be more creative and why creativity matters, especially when everyone else is thinking safe, brand safe, and all these other words. Thank you for doing this with us.
Thank you. It was my absolute pleasure to talk to you guys.
And that's our final episode on our special focus on creativity at the Moving People podcast. We hope you've enjoyed listening to BCW's global creative leaders from Polka Yu in Hong Kong to Jeremy Baca in LA and Fede Gracia at our New York HQ. We also hope you've taken away a sense of the capabilities that our agency will be bringing to clients in the months and years to come, and we look forward to delivering many big creative campaigns with you. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Pierre Fitter. We'll be back soon with more episodes of the Moving People podcast. You have a good one.